Hello and welcome to PrusaLive. We are back and Joe's with us again, back from his vacation.
Hello.
So with me, Joe Prusa, Nicholas Sousa, and
Hi.
I'm Matt Stoltz. And we've got a great show for you today. We are bringing in some of the guys from PrusaLab, which is our in-house makerspace, to talk about some of the projects that they've made in PrusaLab. I'm personally super excited about this because I love hackerspaces and makerspaces and love that we have one in-house.
Three guests at once.
Super great. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're gonna have the guy who kind of organizes the shop, but then a couple of guys that are working on the projects themselves too. So yeah, it'll be a big day. So let's kick off with our PrusaLive picks of the week. Sorry, PrusaPrinters picks of the week. What do you guys have? What do you have, Mickey?
I have an Allen screwdriver kind of hack for just normal Allen keys from Peaklin. Looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah, cool.
There we go. It's from the organization contest, but it didn't actually, like, spoiler alert, this didn't win, which just kind of shows you the level of the models in the competition, so many. But it's like super cool. If I take one out, it has the end spins, so you can just hold it and spin it. It's like super, like kind of simple concept.
What?
I was wondering how you got the Allen key in, so I assume that it drops in there. Yeah,
and the tolerances are perfect, so you just put it in.
Right.
Then you screw this on top, and yeah, it's pretty sweet. The one thing is that the Allen key needs to be like kind of long because you lose some of the length in the printed part. So if it's super short, you end up with something like this, which is not very useful. So like. Yeah, I guess only use it with long ones, but I made it from Prusa PLA Galaxy Black and the Lipstick Red, and it looks wonderful. Maybe looks better than it will actually be useful for me. I just love how it looks. So that's by Peaklin.
Perfect. Very cool. What do you have, Joe?
So let's finish with the screwdriver set. Yeah, I have the Mercury capsule.
Oh,
very neat.
That is super cool.
I send you the link, and it is actually it is from user Lopatka. I wonder if he is Czech, because Lopatka means like tiny shovel in Czech.
Yeah.
And it is very nice.
That looks.
I like the space stuff.
Yeah.
And
I feel like Galaxy Black and Lipstick Red are getting a lot of show here for this one.
True.
Yeah, and I have also a little tiny thing, but these are not on the PrusaPrinters, but this is a copy of my regular glasses in white, because I was asked for a photo shoot to have white glasses, and I'm like, I don't have some, and they were like, guys, you do 3D printing. I'm like, okay. Hold my beer. And you know, actually, it has to be a copy of my regular glasses, because it is super hard to get a lens cut by the frames. So basically, they are again modeled based on the lenses. But before I put the lenses back into my regular glasses, I decided to showcase it here. But what do you guys think? Should I get completely white glasses? Does it look good?
It would be nice to have both. Maybe like switch it up from time to time. It looks good.
Yeah. You could just get one in every shade of filament that we have, and like it shows, just change your glasses all day. Yeah.
I'm thinking we should do cooperation with some of the optics manufacturers here in Czechia, so we could actually make more of these.
That would be nice. And I mean, Chet is saying orange. Yeah,
for sure. Okay, so we had a collab show up on PrusaPrinters this week from a bunch of designers, a few of them that we've actually had on here before. But some of the guys released, Wexter, of course, involved, released a mini of the two members of Daft Punk. and Fred and Fernando also worked on the project, creating a whole diorama for everything. But yeah, so I have Guy Manuel from Daft Punk in a Wexter Mini with Galaxy Black and Oh My Gold here.
Yeah, it was such a shame they broke up.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah.
It is.
I grew up on Daft Punk.
Yeah.
It was fun. They texted me like, "Hey, we collaborated on this, and like we don't know under like whose account to upload it to. So like, do you want it under the Prusa account?" I'm like, yes, it's
yes,
yes, just yes.
Yeah. They didn't want to like have to worry about whose account it would be. Yeah, which was super cool.
But their accounts are linked in the description, so if you want to check each one of them out, you can just click in the links in the description.
Yeah, and I love that Wexter keeps making all these minis, and then Fred, the 3D printing, keeps making all of these like dioramas and things that like go with Wexter's minis, and so they kind of complete the whole thing, and it's a great continued collaboration. So I very much enjoy it. All right, so yeah, we've got actually a really tight show today, so let's keep this ball rolling.
Okay.
So news. We have a release candidate for the new SL1 firmware that's out there. Lots of new things in it. Lots of stuff going on. We're going to talk more about what all's going on in the next episode. I always want to say next week, but in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk in more detail about everything that's in there. But we want you guys to know, because it's a release candidate. So the more of you that are running it and testing it and verifying that it's in good shape, the better. So go ahead and download that and get it on your SL1, and let us know if there's any issues, because hopefully it won't just be a release candidate. Hopefully this will be the final version that'll come out. Okay. Mickey, you had some very interesting phone calls this week.
I did, and we have something kind of cool to announce. So I mean, I think Joe maybe wants to give it the like first announcement, and then we can chat about it a little bit.
Oh, okay. So we became members of the 3MF Consortium, which is wonderful. And it is basically, we are pushing the 3MF format for quite some time. And this is the way how we can influence its future, and hopefully push for more, I would say, standard ways to save additional stuff, not just the 3D model, into the 3MFs. So, for example, the custom supports, or there are gazillion of ways how to build up on 3MF. So it is our default format, and we like to push it. And this is a big thing.
Yeah, I think this could be huge, like in the long run. We've been pushing 3MF really for quite a while. I can show you. We have this article from 2019, and this awesome clickbait title of the video, like why STL is dead and 3MF is the future. Like, of course, that's a little bit of a stretch. STL still has some place, but STL is a triangles and vertices. Doesn't even know about 3D printing. Like it's so old. Whereas 3MF is a new format created specifically for additive manufacturing, which of course it's gonna be better. It has so many advantages, but also because it's more complex. You can see the like giants in the industry who are in the consortium. So now we are also joining them. And what's gonna be great is that we can now work with, like, let's say Autodesk and their CAD softwares, and we can work on improving the interoperability between the 3MF producers, like the design softwares, the CAD software, and Slicer, because right now they don't handshake all that well. So we can work on it. We can discuss like how it should be defined and all those things. So I think that's wonderful. And also, like, even between slicers, like, it would be nice if you download a 3MF file from PrusaPrinters and it was created in PrusaSlicer, and maybe you are using a printer that has profile in Cura, So it would import at least some of the settings like infill, layer height, all those things. Like, yeah, it would be great. So
yeah, standards are important and standards are great, and being able to be in there kind of, talking about the, helping drive how some of those standards are affected for desktop 3D printing, I think is going to be really good. Because if you kind of look at that list, there's not a lot of the guys out there targeting desktop, 3D systems and Stratasys and things like that are wanting big machines.
yeah, and I think already even in the current state, like FreeMF is already, I think, like really the good option. Like it,
for sure.
You can
It
do
is superior to STL.
Yeah. Like even the super simple stuff, like in STL, you can't actually like put multiple objects and save it in like a valid way. It's just that the software these days is kind of smart, and it will realize that the triangles are actually not connected in any way. So it will kind of guess that, oh, these are like separate objects. But in FreeMF, you can just say like object 1, and then you can list all the geometry and stuff like that. You can save thumbnail, which is awesome. We always like to see just thumbnail in the system. You can do colors, materials. In the case of Prusa Slicer, you can save all the settings. So really, it has a lot of advantages, and it will only keep getting better, hopefully, in the future.
Yeah, for sure, not just hopefully.
Yeah.
Super exciting. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring in the PrusaLab team and talk a little bit about what those guys are doing over at the lab. Here we go. Okay, so we are being joined by Andre, Lausch, and Petra to talk about PrusaLab. Andre is the captain, right? The captain of the ship over there at PrusaLab. So why don't you tell all of our watchers a little bit about what PrusaLab is?
Well, yeah. Hey guys, PrusaLab is actually one of the best equipped fab lab. I would say it's kind of like a fab lab and prototyping space, the best in Czech Republic in the country. We are located in a kind of basement of our factory, of our 7th floor Hive factory in the heart of Prague. And the original idea was actually by Joseph to create a space, the creative space for people who could come to learn how to print, how to prototype, how to actually make stuff, and kind of invite the broader public to enter to the factory. And we created kind of robust program, and this year is actually 3rd year of our operation. On the pictures here you can see how it looks in our space. So it's fully equipped, 350 meters. Yeah, and this you can see some of our projects, what we've done. We focused on, of course, on 3D printing and different experimental stuff, but we have also kind of robust background in the electronics, and many of our projects are connected with the programming and stuff like this. For example, this was the installation for the theater. We also work a lot with the light festivals to doing installations to public spaces. But the thing is that we really were open to broader public, and on the peak we have like more than 50 members each month, the new members each month. But it actually ended up with the COVID situation, and we were facing to the fact that we have to kind of switch the mindset of our activities. So we come up with the idea, with actually 2 ideas, and we opened the acceleration program. So first 2 years we were focused on really like early stages, kind of newcomers, new makers, to really help them explore the world of making stuff and the technologies. But now we're more focused on advanced projects, and we launched the acceleration program with actually 90 people applied. So the next week we finally announced 2 winners, which we're gonna work with following half a year. So we're really looking forward. So this is like recent position of lab, focused more on prototyping, some on-demand making objects and stuff like this.
If we ever get over the pandemic, like, are we gonna open again to the public? I assume we will, right?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
This is exactly, this is a good question. We're really looking forward to help to open again, but now we feel that we are much more, let's say, equipped with a community behind us, because during this we meet lots of people. Actually, Peter is one of them, who start to be kind of not only like a member, but you know, like a part of the crew, I would say. Yeah.
Wonderful. So what you know, obviously you have a very well equipped 3D printing lab in there, but what other kind of equipment and capabilities does the shop have? I saw a couple CNC machines and a laser cutter in the video.
This is actually like a second idea of the PrusaLab, that we are partly working as a prototyping workshop for all our developers and people who are above us in the floors in our company. So we basically welcome all the people who can, from the Prusa research employees who need to do some prototyping. So we are working on a CNC mill and CNC lathe for them to be able to, you know, rapid prototype in like daily basis. Means that they don't need to ask like that much like outsource thing, but we can do for them. Maybe you can scroll a little bit down, because it's you can see that one of our equipment is also like a draft beer dispenser. To be honest, of course, this is the lab, but we used to be quite often open for making some, you know, like make the makers parties and stuff like this, because come on, it's part of our mentality. So
yeah, I think actually the last party was my 30th birthday last year, before the COVID closed it down.
Yeah.
And you used to offer classes too, right? For you know, makers kind of getting started and things.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We you know, this is, if you imagine that we have like 100 people in the factory, and there are lots of people who could share their ideas and their knowledge. So that's why we open the classes, of course, for like real beginners, but also for advanced in the modeling and 3D printing. But we have also like more specialized workshops, you know, in order to led the people through some prototyping process, of course. Maybe this is actually a little bit different than other Fab Labs. I know that many Fab Labs don't doing like program. You know, if you go for our website, you would, not now, but that time you would see that we had like maybe 3 or 4 events per week, which is almost like some kind of culture center, than more than like you know, just Fab Lab.
Yeah, there was always something going on.
Yeah, it was always fun.
Really
you
great.
would go downstairs and you would always see someone hacking and something, and it would be like, what is that? And you would go into like a 15-minute conversation about the person like showing you his awesome project. So.
But I think it's also give kind of like direction to the other emerging labs all around, and I think that it's really cool that we could be the first to showing what is possible. And right now we feel that we could move to a little bit more like a advanced topic, let's say. Yeah.
Very cool. So you have some of the creators of some of the like larger scale projects that you've done in-house with us. Who do we have here, and what have they made?
So here with me, I invite two guys. One is Leos. He's actually head of ElectroLab, responsible for all the electro-touched project, I would say. He's actually a quite famous musician, also doing the modular synth music. But so that's why he's you know, this is kind of his environment, and he's gonna introduce our open source project. This is actually one thing I would mention as well, because if you imagine that we are closed right now, so we focused also on helping like the particular project, but also on the open source, because we have this kind of opportunity thanks to Joseph and thanks to the constellation of things we are in the factory, that we could spend much more time on open source documentation than the others who would normally, you know, going towards the aim to build the project. But we spend much more time on documentation to be able to share it, to let the people, you know, enter the process and maybe inspire them to create it at the similar things. Leos will definitely tell you more about it. And the second guest I invited to be part of our discussion is Petr Vacek, actually architects and artist who won one of our open calls. We're doing a regular yearly open calls for arts installation. And he won the open call, and together we create the installation, which is actually right now touring. Will be touring around the world on the light festivals, and he will show you more what is behind.
So let's get to it, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, thank you, Andre, and hello everybody. I'm sending regards from PrusaLab, from electronic workshop place. I would show you around, but I can't because it's full of super cool and super secret projects that you yet, but it's on the way.
Oh yeah. I remember signing some NDAs a couple of weeks ago. So I guess that's that.
Oh, yeah. So it's right here. I just cannot tilt the camera yet, but it's coming. Just stay tuned. But we were talking about the projects and the open source. So I'm here to actually present and talk about our project called PrusaHive, which is about like digital monitoring or like democratization of digital monitoring of bees and beehives. And how did we came to it, right? We already had like 10 beehives behind the building here. And for quite some time, and I think it was actually Joe who said something like, "Hey guys, it's really nice to have bees, but we should have cyber bees." I was like, "All right, okay, let's do it." And we really like took it as an opportunity to make our first fully open source project. So actually, if right now you open a browser and type in like PrusaHive.com, it will redirect you to this Wikifactory page which is full of the documentation that we put together, like a full open source like source code and all the production files for this like monitoring station that is currently being implemented on our own beehives, and it is in testing mode now. So it was great opportunity to really like exercise this, how to really like make the project fully open source, including these like DIY tutorials and so on. This was first time we did it here in our PrusaLab facility, like from the team that was before like working with the community locally, is now working with the community online. So that's pretty much like the main goal behind it, excluding the monitoring of the bees and seeing how they are doing from your phone app or something like that.
It will be interesting what we will do with cyber llamas, because I think we have chosen three llamas which will be going to our space to hang out with us. So
absolutely, I'm really excited what's coming. If
maybe they could have like computer backpacks or something.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about necklace or maybe like wristbands.
Oh, but we definitely need GPS on the llamas, because if they run away, it would be very interesting to try to find them in the city.
Somewhere in the park.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I can just imagine the Prusa llamas running through the streets of Prague. It would be quite the sight.
Yeah, you will definitely recognize them.
Are you monitoring all of the hives that you have, or only a portion of them currently?
Well, the project is still in development. So right now we have one hive being monitored in like a testing mode, and because we are testing our last hardware and firmware version. And after some time, when we really like prove the concept, because this is it's off-grid operating, right? It's like powered by solar energy. So we want to test it now during the like winter months in the spring, that it can really sustain itself for a long periods of time. And when we really like confirm that this is our final version, then we are going to duplicate it 9 times for all the other hives. And what is like exciting is that as we put it outside online on this like Wikifactory platform, there's actually the community already started to cooperate, and they helped us with some technical solutions, which was like super cool to see the people like from other places really like joining forces and help us to bring the solutions. And they already built the station that is like one is currently being operated somewhere in South Bohemia, and another one is built and running in Vienna. And there's another like 40 people who downloaded the data already and are working on their own iteration or own own PrusaHive station. So I expect in the next like weeks and months to see like more PrusaHive stations appear around the world, which is super exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and what's great actually you can in the end you can see the data compiled from all the hives, right? To see the curves, you know. So it's really exciting.
They're basically
excuse me, like it's a part of this like Czech Agricultural University research project, right? They put together this research website where they collect the data. So every user of the PrusaHive has an option to take a part of this research and send the data to this like university, and they use it for their own sciencey bees stuff that I do not understand that much personally. I'm more into like hacking electronics.
Cool.
Very cool. So what's the other project that we have with us?
Okay, I will introduce you Reflexa. Hello everyone, and thanks for invitation to this live stream. My name is Petr and I'm an architect, but I focus on computational design and digital fabrication. And we applied with my friend Adam for a competition to design some art piece, some sculpture for a light festival that is every year in Prague. The name is Signal Festival. And there was a contest, and we just applied with an idea of a big mirror, and it's like a big wall consisting of mirrors that move because it's programmable. And actually, we won, and we were about to build it in PrusaLab, and it was it's amazing. It was a great experience because we had no experience with building such a huge project, and it was like bringing a little seed to some place where they can make it grow. You know, like a seed is the idea, and then it was magic to meet all the people that are so creative, and they were helping us with each step, and it was just an incredible process. And so maybe I will tell you a bit about the idea. We wanted, because the Signal Festival is Festival of Lights, and we wanted to steal
bees again. Sorry,
bees. So we wanted to steal the reflection of people who come there, and we wanted to play with the reflection in our own way. So there was like a big enlightened space in front of the mirror, and people came and were like, "Oh, what's happening?" And then there was this mirror and started moving. So it was kind of hypnotizing, and well, it was a crazy summer. We were designing it and iterating all the time, and solving all these problems, like where to order 200 servo motors from China, and you know, a lot of Raspberry Pis and other things. But actually, PrusaLab was a place where everything could just happen. It was incredible, you know, all the 3D printers and Electrolab, and it was just so nice to spend the time there. We were kind of lucky because at that time it was still open for public. It was 2019, so as Andre said, it was always some people around and making their own stuff, and it was just so nice to share all the ideas and also to watch others doing crazy things. So I just, maybe I will show you a bit of how it's done. This is one single module that is moving all the mirrors. In total, there are 91, and it's all 3D printed. There are 2 servo motors and some, you know, pulling rods. And that's like nothing so special. But when it comes to a bigger scale, I will show you. But it's a bit complicated. So, try not to break anything. So this was a testing prototype. It's just 5 mirrors, and we'll turn it on. Okay, now it moves. No, yes.
Whoa.
So these are like testing mirrors that we were trying to, you know, troubleshoot everything like wobbling or shaking, and there is also this amazing app written by Matěj Suchanek, who is part of PrusaLab also. And
How many hands do you have?
Well,
it looks like you have 3 hands at least.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I many. 3D printed hand, maybe. No, but there is an app in my hand, and I'm moving my phone, and all the mirrors just react on that movement. So it's kind of cool. And imagine that there are 91. So I will just put it down again. It's a bit heavy. Yeah. Okay.
So when this was installed, were you entirely controlling it through the phone, through the app on your phone, or was it like some kind of pre-programmed sequence of movements?
Oh, that was kind of tricky part, because when it comes to translating the mirror movements, like the choreography that we wanted to play into some signals for servo. So, you know, when you're controlling with your phone, you get only like limited data to process. So I was scripting all that movements using Rhino 3D, if you are familiar with the software. And there is a plugin called Grasshopper, which allows me to play with like parametric design. And we wrote some custom scripts, and it's like reading some normal maps and some surfaces, or I can just set like, I can take a 3D scan of a space where the mirrors are placed, and then I can put there the 3D model of reflection, and then I can set like specific points. Like I want this guy to see other guy in all 91 mirrors, and all the normals just make the reflection happen. So we wrote like several choreographies, and we play them over and over again. But now it's time to move forward. We have this new control box, which was also made in PrusaLab. It's like 3D printed, and there is a lot of custom electronics, and just now it's plugged in, so a lot of lights. And we are now working on interactivity. So there will be like interface to plug either Touch Designer or other softwares. So we can do also interactive and live shows together, for example, with a dancer or with musicians like Leoš. So this is really exciting, and I have to invite people to France, where hopefully, fingers crossed, we will exhibit the piece in the 24th of June. There is a big festival in the city of Metz. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing wrong, but it's like Metz. And it will be like 2.5 months of a festival called Constellations. So feel free to come there. I hope that they will do it, the festival.
Yeah, that's very cool. I went to a festival called Montreal in Lumiere a few years ago, Montreal in Lights, and this would be a perfect fit for some of the art installations that they were doing there. And hopefully, if that happens this year or next year, maybe you could see if you could get it over here to the Americas and have it in Montreal, because I think it would be a perfect fit there.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, we should apply for that.
Yeah, definitely. And we have already another project made, which was for last year's Signal Festival, but unfortunately that was cancelled. So let's see if it will happen this year. But it is mostly outside, so it is fine. But I don't think that that project was actually featured anywhere.
No,
I'm not sure if we can even speak about it.
Yeah, but at least we can say that it's more interactive in a sense that people could kind of touch it and be part of the whole thing, not only by by the reflection, but it's let's say we part of our collaboration with the Signal Festival. We already choose a third actually project which we work with. It's again, you know, to be honest, for a lab, it's opened the new horizons of collaboration, because as Peter said, now we can be part of like the artistic communities working with the technologies and like real traditional artistic stuff, which is really cool for us, and it's kind of pushing our boundaries. And I'm still pushing all my team to be able to, you know, communicate with in such a new situation. It is great.
Is that the project we have in the accelerator, or we have another one?
Yeah, it's one of the in an accelerator, but it's more artistic. So we not gonna announce them in this acceleration program, because the acceleration program really should help the people to start landing their commercial project, which is I think important.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah,
cool.
I can't wait to see you know, what you guys have coming in the future with more projects.
Yeah.
So this is all very cool stuff. And again, hopefully you know, hopefully we can get over the COVID thing and, you know, be back open to the public. I know you know, very often people that are on PrusaLive are all excited, they want to come over and tour the entire factory, but little do they know the hidden gem down on the first floor of the lab also. And so always cool stuff going on.
Yeah. So do we have any questions for the PrusaLab?
We'll keep an eye for them in the chat. Yeah, typical question for the PrusaLab: when are we coming out with a new 3D printer? Good old.
Jeremy's in timeout now.
Okay.
Well, what I found the coolest thing about the reflections is that I was at the beginning, I was quite worried that the servo sound would be too like taking the attention from the visual, but actually when you have it is 91 mirrors, I think, right?
Yep.
And 2 servos each, so it makes like otherworldly, like hum. And you cannot recognize like the single servo. And when actually when some big animation happens, it's like swoosh, and it's very cool.
And you know, in the last hour project, when we were collaborating in Theater Archa in heart of Prague, it's quite famous experimental theater, I would say. There was a reflection, and there was even like microphones who catching the sounds of the servos, and then we gain it a little bit more and use it as a effects, because it was really cool when you just put it really loud. It makes like really cool sound.
Yeah.
Like a lot of bees. I mean, there is a little connection with bees, like the shape is hexagonal. And I also, my friends told me like, oh, you designed it like hexagonal because of Prusa, right? They have everywhere hexagons. I was like, no. So, yeah.
It perfectly fits, actually.
Coincidence, yeah.
We have a few questions. Balu is asking, when are we opening PrusaLab in his hometown? So that I would take it as a word of prize that he wish we did that.
We were thinking about it, but it is very far ahead, because I don't think it would be as good as it is in-house with the Prusa research, because there is just much more interactivity between the developers and people from the company. And if it would be remote, I don't think it would be half as good.
Yeah, there is a huge synergy, and thanks to it, we could really experiment and be able to, find appropriate experts for each project we need.
Right.
To kind of.
But that being said, there are, while they aren't PrusaLabs, right? There are plenty of hackerspaces, makerspaces, fab labs, things like that, all around the world. So check in your local area. It may not be a PrusaLab, but there may be something very similar near you. So, yeah.
Are we doing any projects in the lab with young makers? I mean, of course, not right now, but was there anything with I don't know, maybe the little cardboard robot was, if I remember correctly, kind of like school project.
Yeah. Well,
or like,
it's usually made by our collaborators. In the first stage, we did lots of program for like early stage makers, but it was like more how to handle the Arduino stuff or how to start the printing. But exactly those things you are mentioned, it was part of the IBM projects. It's called, I don't even actually remember the name. It's really old time back ago, but it's basically, we collaborate with the companies who pushing the open source projects. Maybe Autobot, you remember it, is also something which can people take apart all around the world, and it's really nicely lead them how to handle the technology. So just check those sites.
And for the youngest of the youngest, I remember that we were doing, before Christmas, we were doing workshops where kids could design the cookie cutters and then bake gingerbread.
It was nice.
We had more workshops for kids. I remember holding a workshop about like build your first robot, which was like a series with kids that we made like robots that were just like moving around, just with like a DC motor, and another workshop for kids that was like, let's make a drawing robot. It was like a doodle bot. Which I designed with a little bit of 3D printing and some like markers. That was just like, again, sort of like moving on the paper and creating weird drawings. And there were many kids of a really like young age. And what was exciting, there were more little girls than little boys on the workshops, which was great. It was nice.
That's great. Well, guys, we really appreciate you guys coming on and joining us and sharing what you guys are doing in the lab. And I would love to have you back in the future to show more projects as more things come out. So for now, have a great evening.
Thank you for having us.
See you in the office.
See you guys.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye.
Take care.
All right.
Okay.
Just the three of us again. That was great. Those guys were great, and I just loved the projects. So
Yeah, I've just seeing the chat when the two projects were showcased. It looked like a lot of people also find them super cool. I wish you could see the reflection in real life. It is like twice as mesmerizing as it is on a like 2D video. When you see
it is.
Oh,
it
yeah,
is
I can
very
imagine.
big.
Yeah,
It is very big. It can get if you stand close, it gets most of your field of view.
Yeah.
Yeah, super cool. Okay, so we have some contest announcements here, don't we?
We do. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So we had our organization contest on PrusaPrinters that had been running through the past couple months. And a lot of you have been anxiously awaiting to find out who has won the contest. And we are here to make the announcement. Okay, so our third place winner for the contest.
Should I screen it?
Yeah.
Is the charger cable organizer by DFP Tech.
Yeah.
Oh.
And there have been a lot of different kinds of like spoolie
Yes.
charger cable organizers out there, but this one is just so easy to print and so good and works so well. Like so many of them are tough, and I have one here. And the knurling on it is so nice. It's just like it is exactly what you want in a cable spooler. And I don't know about you guys, but like my cables are always a mess, especially when I travel, right? Like,
Always a mess.
just you get on the plane and you're like, okay, I'm gonna plug in my headphones so I can listen to the audio on the plane on a long thing, and you spend half the flight just unknotting your headphones before you can even get started. And this is a perfect cable winder. So he says charging cable. I'm probably going to use it a lot for headphone cables personally.
It's suitable for every cable.
Yes. Yeah, and he's got a couple different versions. He has one with like a pop-out handle that's in there. It's really a cool little device.
And it's nice to see people taking advantage of the new text editor on PrusaPrinters, embedded videos, bolts, and lists, and
I was very impressed that it looked like a lot of our entries went back and like used the organization to organize their STL files, in handy ways. So yeah, very cool. And yeah, they will be winning 2 spools of Prusament for their entry.
Nice. So then we move to second place, which is 3 spools of Prusament.
Yeah.
And that is, oh man, too many tabs. Let me just screen share that. So the second place goes to R3 Design with his ultimate modular box system, which is over 30 parametric parts. And they are all like, he has these cool pictures showing all of them.
Right.
Overall.
Yeah, we had lots of boxes entered, which makes total sense. It's organization, put things in boxes. But this one, being an entire system with all of these different add-ons, and the fact that he open sourced or gave the step files out there for you to be able to modify and continue building on the system.
And folders, yes.
Yeah, and folders, exactly. And if you keep going down on those folders, you'll see he has folders of all of the step files for everything. So
that's amazing.
This is a system that I think will be able to continue moving on and living for quite a while, with people continuing to make more designs that work with this system, and they all slot together so satisfyingly, which is very nice.
I personally love the fact that they are not all unified size, so you can make it more interesting.
True.
Yeah, and like the picture even shows there, he has wall mounts for them, rod mounts. There's just so much that went into this that was very impressive.
Super cool.
Great job.
Yeah.
Okay, and that leads us to the first place.
Our winner.
Yeah, and the winner actually wins the original Prusa i3 Mark III S Plus. So That's the big prize, and it goes to Kashimi and his endless customizable interchangeable shelf. And this model was submitted like, I don't know, like I feel like quite early on, and I immediately like was like, it was on my radar as, oh, this could win. This could totally win.
This is another one where there are so many parts that he released to this that really make it so that you can turn it into whatever you want it to be. And I love that he shows like so many of these photos of it. And one of the really cool things is if you kind of scroll back to the beginning, just so we can see the scroll back to the beginning of the photo so we can see the piece there. Yes, that piece, that orange piece.
Yeah.
So that's just a render, but that is the base mount that goes onto the wall. And then all of the other shelves, once the mounts are on, you can actually just pop them off and reorganize them however you want the shelves to be placed, because they slide in and out of the mounts. It's a super cool design, and especially when I started printing these and like putting some of them together, I was just really impressed by the engineering that he put into how all of these parts snap into each other and lock in place. And yeah, it just there was a lot of work that went into making this, and it definitely shows.
This is great.
Yeah.
I'm totally thinking about printing this. Maybe at even like bigger scale. Make it so that one piece just barely fits on the print bed.
Yeah.
Just make it huge.
Yeah, I think he sized it, if I remember correctly. I think it's all sized so it'll fit on the Mini.
Yeah.
I know that some parts definitely will, because he kind of calls out that they are for the Mini. But yes, I believe that everything will print on the Mini. But yeah, it all slots and clicks together, and just it's very, very satisfying. Yeah.
Incredible. There are also other smaller prizes for the designs that got the most likes. So that's basically the designs that you guys helped select, and they are listed. Oh, there's a special prize, which is we said it needs to be something very specific. So it's this nice like little clicky magnetic geared case for SD cards by Kazitoad. So he wins the special prize, which is
this is another one of those where like, yeah, we've seen SD card cases before, but like he just took it to an entirely different level with like the magnetic enclosures and the gearing, so that as it opens up, it stands all the cards up. So you could put this on your desk and have all your SD cards on your desk, and then snap it closed, toss it in your bag, and not have to kind of fuss with it. And it's
and you can actually get them out easy.
Right, exactly. So yeah, it is super cool, and you couldn't get much more specialized than an SD card holder, because it's not going to do much else. Like the boxes are boxes; they're universal. This only really serves one purpose.
And by the way, we have Kashime, our winner, in the chat. So congratulations!
Congratulations!
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love it when the people that are in the contest and when the contests are in chat. It really is great.
There were 1,200 designs. It was incredible. So we could only select so many. There are the smaller prizes. Like these are great models. Like this clicky sheet store holder under the desk. It's great. You just press the button and it pushes the.
Is that the ejector button?
Yeah.
Like in the floppy drive.
Yeah.
So that's great. There's the Nespresso capsule dispenser. This drawer for the Mark III. I love this one. You can do it with eggs, but also like onions and stuff like that. I think it just looks pretty cool. Another one of those winders. So all of these also win. And there's we have just released the article on blog on PrusaPrinters. So if you go and read that, you can go through all of the entries, or you can just click these links to get models from Prusa printers from all of the winners. So it's
Yeah.
there. I'm gonna also paste it in the chat just in case.
So congratulations to everyone who won, and thank you for everyone that entered. As Mickey said, this was an epic contest. 1,200 entries. You know, it was quite the effort just to go through and select them all. It was really funny. Like, even working on my short list, I'm sure you had this same experience, Mickey, of just just scrolling through and, you know, how many more there going to be. And yeah, it was a couple hours of just going through and making my short list, which is, you know, great. It's awesome. So we appreciate everything for you guys contributing to that, and the next contest is on the way, and
it's very soon. It's close.
Yeah, very soon, and I think Mickey was one of the big driving forces on this one. And
yes,
so
I will also have an article and video with some inspiration coming out. So I'm really looking forward what you will come, and I think it's a fun topic. So I think it will be good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Something I'm interested in too. So we've discussed it in the past. Yeah, so fantastic. Okay. A little bit more time, and we still have another competition to get through, which is our every show PrusaLive, PrusaPrinters, PrusaLive Twitter contest. So
I think we need more competitions.
We totally do. We'll just make the entire show just nothing but announcing winners to competitions, which would be
and you get a 3D printer.
You get a 3D printer. You get a everyone gets a 3D printer,
or at least some filament in this case. And so So last week we were last show, I keep saying week. Last show we had discussed how many MMU prints were out there and how many great MMU prints, but you guys really brought it with single color this week, and we were super excited about it. So who's our third place for this week, Mickey?
So our third place is Greg's 3D print RC channel that has, is it Godzilla by Chaos Cortec? Love the texture.
Yeah, it's such a great model, and he took it, basically as big as he could get it there on the Mini, and beautiful color, just came out great.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice. Very nice. By the way, last time I was popping the tabs, in a new window so that you can't see winners, but joke's on you, I have so many tabs that you still can't see who are the second and third prize.
Yeah, you are starting to be like Martin Peshek.
Yep. So,
all right.
Moving on to second place.
Yeah.
And that is Christopher Enoch. And that's this frozen print, which is, it's white, so in the first glance, it's kind of hard to see, but it is really pretty.
Yeah, and there's a lot of detail, and I love that he made this for his 5-year-old granddaughter.
Yeah.
Who
very
will
cute.
hopefully be very excited about it.
Yeah, and the color suits the model very nicely. It looks like sculpture.
It does.
Yeah. And it's perfect for Frozen too, right? Like they look like they're made out of snow or out of ice in the white.
Oh, so. I haven't seen Frozen yet.
We are not gonna let this tweet go.
I was gonna say the name kind of gives that part away.
Okay. And that leads us to number one.
Our number one.
And that is Fritz Prince 3D and Cthulhu by Fotis.
Yeah, Cthulhu. Fotis Mint was taking a little break from my understanding.
Yeah.
Very, very busy having a kid. And he is back releasing models. And this one came out this week and has kind of been blowing up. And this really sparkly teal green is just a beautiful print in it.
It's creepy, kind of creeps me out a little bit, but it's the point, I guess. It should.
Yeah. Elder God of Nightmares there. Yeah.
Okay, so those are
Joe,
the winners.
you're muted. Joe, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was washing my clothes and the dryer just finished and it's beeping here. So, but I was asking how do you pronounce it? It's Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu. If I remember correctly, I've visited the H.P. Lovecraft Museum in Providence, right?
Yeah. Well, you visited a library that is featured in some of his stories and contains some early editions and a bust of him. But it is a library, not necessarily a museum, but they have kind of a museum section of it to him. So yes, so I used to live in Providence, Rhode Island. Joe visited Providence back in 2015, 14, something like that.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Oh no, it would have been 2013 or 14. Yes, long time ago. And yeah, we took a tour around Providence and checked things out there. So
yeah. So I guess congratulations to the winner.
Yeah,
Congrats.
Congratulations, everyone.
And
yeah,
I guess time's up.
Yeah,
that's our show.
Yeah, we only really had space for questions for the makers, so that's too bad. But I mean, it was a busy episode. We can always do more Q&A in the future episodes. I can see one quick one. Is it possible to use the LCD screen from the Mini on the Mark III? Not yet, or I mean, no, but maybe someday.
Maybe in the future.
Someday something similar. Who knows? XL, is it really coming? Yes. Is it coming like tomorrow? No.
Yeah.
There you have it.
All right, guys. There you have it. So thank you for joining us. Have a great 2 weeks until we see you again. I keep forgetting to mention, join us in Discord. We've got a nice little active Discord community going, and we'd love to talk to you guys more there. So until we see you again, stay safe, keep printing, and we will see you soon.
Goodbye.
Take care.
See you guys.